It was a really incredible night for us in the war room. A lot of work done by our scouting department, including trips overseas. Obviously, we ended up with some international flair in this draft, but Jesse Buss and I made a trip overseas that led to some of our decisions. And then, of course, in the first round, selecting Mo Wagner was a big target for Magic. When you build a team, you have to have pillars that you build on, and for us, we're sticking to those core principles, which are guys that are high IQ basketball players that play the game the right way, that can shoot, that have length, that have versatility, that play with toughness. And we felt like with the two players we selected tonight in the draft, we added shooting and guys that just know how to play the game the right way. Luke was incredibly excited with the choices, and we're just thrilled with the way the night ended for us.
Rob, are we to believe that the whole Michigan thing didn't have anything to do with it?
I will forever be accused of having a Michigan Wolverine bias, but no, Mo Wagner, I think the game, as you know, requires bigs that can spread the floor. And what we noticed in all the games we went to in person is that he's a tremendous passer, great screener in the pick and roll situations, coached by John Beeline, who's a terrific coach. And Luke felt like when we did the workout with him in our building that he just had off the charts basketball IQ, and Magic had to get over a Spartan drafting a Wolverine, but once we got over that, we knew he was our guy. You guys are going to love Mo Wagner because he literally lights up a room when he walks into it. Magic talked about players on other teams, and I can't say names of players on other teams, but just have that quality of galvanizing the five guys playing and have just a spirit and a charisma. You can have swagger, and if you push it too far, it turns into arrogance, right? But if you have the perfect feel with how confident you are, it spreads to the rest of the team. And Mo Wagner just has that. When he came in and did his 3-on-3, the whole workout changed just because of his spirit and his energy. Kyle Kuzma and Josh Hart were actually at Mo Wagner's workout the day he came in, and both of us were elbowing Irvin and I, saying, man, this guy would be fun to play with. He plays with energy. He's got light. He's light on his feet. So they were both texting me after we picked him saying, man, that's another great culture piece for us.
Hey, Rob, given the young core that you already have and have built over the last couple of years, how much of these picks are you thinking of fitting in with those specific types of players and skill sets versus just, best available type of talent?
Mike, one of the things we're really, really excited about right now is that for the first time in a long time, the Lakers are developing young players. You've probably seen some of the Instagram photos of Kyle Kuzma and Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, talking about how ripped Kyle looks. Lonzo recently did a weekend vacation, and the whole world was buzzing about kind of his new build. Josh Hart has been in the weight room every day. The development of these guys, when we had our exit meetings, we sat down and we showed pictures to our young players of superstars in their rookie years, and then 4 years into their career, how their body changed, and explained to the guys, hey, if you commit to that 2-3 hours a day, you can develop into an NBA star body. And our guys are doing that now. And so that's what we're most excited about with Mo Wagner, is to get him in and develop him, grow him into an NBA body, just with his, again, skill set and mental makeup. We feel like he's going to be a special, special player.
Robert, are you allowed to talk about the 39th pick? Is that something you acquired with the German kid?
So what I can talk about is, I'll get to that in a second. With our other second-round pick at 47, we took Mykhailiuk from Kansas, and Magic has preached over and over again adding shooting to our core. And he's a 20-year-old player that's really was one of the best knockdown shooters we had in our building during the draft process. Beautiful stroke, stretch the floor, and a tough guy. I mean, there were times in the tournament this year where he was guarding great players like Marvin Bagley and not backing down from him. And Magic and I noticed that, just that he has a toughness combined with his shooting, and he's a legit 6'7". So in terms of the third player, we are in discussions with another team, but because of the moratorium that doesn't end until July 6th, we can't really talk specifically about that until the moratorium's over.
Rob, what are these days like for you? I know the draft is basically over now. I think there's a couple more here, but what are these days like as you lead into free agency?
You don't get to see the sun. It seems like it's just a constant grind. I mean, as you guys know, Magic is all about excellence here, and we want to outwork everybody. And so it feels like the last several weeks have just been constant planning sessions, moving the chessboard around with all the different options. And we won't rest until we get it right, and I think that's just how Magic and I are built, and the rest of our staff, just to work until we get it done. But I think there's an incredible excitement to get to July 1st and to see what the options are. But we do feel like the road is a flexible road for us. If July 1st happens with one or two superstar players, great. If it doesn't, we love this young core that we're developing, and we know 2019 could present some amazing opportunities as well. So really, any road we go down, we're really confident in. But obviously for Lakers fans, we want to be good. We want to be back in the playoffs where Lakers deserve to be and competing for a championship.
Do you feel a sense of urgency in terms of, the Lakers? It's been a while, right? Up until the last 5 years, the Lakers had never really missed the playoffs 2 years in a row. Now it's been 5 years in a row. Do you feel a sense of urgency in terms of getting the team back to that level? That's
a great question, Ramona. I'll personally feel a sense of urgency until we get a championship. I won't rest until then. Just the way I'm built. And I know Magic's the same way, and Jeannie ultimately, we don't compete to play games. We compete to win championships. So there will be a sense of urgency until that's accomplished.
Was there a point in the pre-draft process where you sort of put preparations for free agency on hold to just focus on the draft, or has it all been sort of together, a mix of everything?
A dual road for sure, Tanya. I mean, we have to stay focused on everything and be prepared. I think we have had days that we literally have, 10 hours straight of meetings getting ready for the draft and free agency. And so it's not a one or the other focus for us. It's both.
Is it true that the Spurs declined to talk to you guys about possible trade for Kawhi?
I think out of respect for other teams, we don't really comment about our conversations publicly with other teams. We certainly wouldn't want them to do that for us. So, but again, we're going to do everything we can to build this team, whether it's through trades, through free agency, through the draft, and we're going to be very aggressive and get into the destination.
I'll ask that question in a different way. Have you felt the sense that other teams in the league are sort of resistant to do business with the Lakers in other ways, not even just right now, but in general?
It's interesting because we knew we wanted to try to acquire another pick in the beginning of the second round, and as I said, we're in discussions on that. But we feel like we're going to be able to accomplish that. So it's not like teams are saying, "Oh, I'm not going to do a deal with the Lakers." But I do think when you have 16 banners, there's going to be a natural envy from your competitors because you're sitting at the top of the food chain. But that's just life in general. I think if you have success in any walk of life, you're going to face that. And we don't really see that as a challenge. We just see it as a reality. But we also feel like because of the DNA shift here and because of the energy around our team and our young core and our cap flexibility, that players want to be here. So whether other teams want to participate in that or not, we can't control. But we can control the environment we have here and creating energy where great players will want to be Lakers.
Do you feel like there's an increased scrutiny on you guys just because of where you sit with the have been talked about with your franchise and also what you just talked about, envy. Is there an increased level of scrutiny with you guys in terms of jealousy? There was the tampering investigation last year. Magic got hit with that, with an innocuous comment on Giannis. I mean, do you guys feel that scrutiny from around the league?
Perhaps. I mean, I think scrutiny comes from the outside, so maybe you guys would be a better judge of that. I do think that anytime you have extraordinary success, it's going to draw attention, whatever business you're in. So, but yeah, that would probably be for someone else to judge and not for us.
Last two questions.
Rob, where do you land kind of on this idea of rebuilding immediately with a super team versus being able to kind of grow this group that you've developed and this core? Do you do both at the same time, or do you kind of have to go one or the other?
I think the ideal scenario is to do both, is to be able to win in the now, but also have a young core you're developing to win in the future. And I think that we are ideally situated to do that. I think if you look at the landscape of the playoffs this past year, youth succeeded in some instances. And the game is fast-paced. The game is about quickness and athleticism, and you need young legs to do that. So we feel like we can be really, really good right away, but also build sustainable winning. And I don't think that leveraging the success of the future for a short now is the right thing to do. I think sustainable success is really our goal.
Well, I guess the answer could vary depending on if you do get two superstars or if you continue to build the young players. But how soon do you expect this team to win a championship, realistically?
I don't, it's a good question. And I think the best answer to that is we won't rest until we do. And I can't predict the future or when that's going to be, but I can predict this. Like, no one's going to outwork us to get there.
Is there anybody that you're not been willing?
I can do one more. That's fine.
Is there anybody that you're not willing to include in trade talks if it comes to that? If there's a superstar player on the other end of it?
That's always a trick question. I mean, I think other people have said every player in the NBA is virtually tradable. What if one team said, we'll give you 2 first-team All-Pro guys for your 1 first-team All-Pro guy? The GM of the one is going to probably do that. So really, it depends on what the definition of untradeable is. But those are, I don't know, hypothetical things that we don't really get into.
That was a very easy one.
Yeah, sure.
How different was this year than last year?
Very. Yeah, I think when you sit and have a top 5 pick, the type of things that get flashed to you is, extraordinary, where it's just, wow, did that really just happen? This year we had 25 and 47, so it was a matter of studying it really hard, but kind of seeing what, fell to us to some extent. But, hopefully we won't have another year anytime soon with the first or second pick, because that would be that we're not winning the number of games we want to be.
All right, thank you.
Last one. I'll do
With Lonzo had just gotten back on the basketball court, what have you seen from him so far?
I've really seen Lonzo emerge as a young man this offseason. He'll come up to the office and come in and sit down and have a direct conversation about his goals, what he wants to do, the trainers he wants to work with, the things in his game he wants to work on. That's probably one of the things Magic and I and Luke are really proud of right now, is how these guys are growing into men and making wise choices with how they want to be great. He really designed his own workout plan this summer. It wasn't, hey, Lonzo, we need you to do X, Y, and Z. He came to us and said, I'd really like to do this. What do you guys think? And he came to Magic and said, I'd like to start watching film with you once a week just to learn. And so Magic and myself and Lonzo have been in our incredible film room once a week for an hour doing sessions. And with Kuz, with BI, with Josh, to see these guys start opting into greatness, regardless of what happens, this summer, that in itself is just a huge thing for us.